I'm Peter Vandenberg, and I want to tell you about something that happened to me, which by anybody's standards was terrible, but it turned out great. And this is what it is. 8 years ago, after a trip here in Africa, I was diagnosed with something called Burkitt's lymphoma. It's a very aggressive cancer. It started with a tumor in my eye. The tumor got so big that it was touching my glasses. Of course, the eye was completely closed. When I got back to the United States where I live, I went straight to an oncologist. They said, this is Burkitt's lymphoma. It's terrible. It's an emergency. It's aggressive. It rushes into your whole body. And they said, you booked into a well-known hospital that specialized in this. And they said, go there immediately. It was about a 2-hour drive from where I live. And so while I waited for a friend to come and drive me, I looked it up on Google. I'd never heard of Burkitt's lymphoma. And I read there that nobody over the age of 60 had ever survived it. I was 68. When I got to the hospital, they rushed me in, and man, they started with huge infusions of chemo into my jugular veins, 7 of them, and 1 of them was enough to kill you. Everybody wore suits and masks when they came into my room. I was a big sign said toxic patient, and I started with this chemo, knowing that, well, it's just not going to end well. Nobody had ever survived at this age. And you know what happened? People prayed for me. And so I settled down for these 100 hours of infusion. That's a whole week, from Monday morning till Friday night, no interruption, all gurgling into my body, And they said, you're going to be very, very sick, which happens with chemo. You get nauseous and what have you. And first day I didn't get sick, second day I didn't get sick, third day I didn't get sick. And in fact, I felt great, And the hospital staff said, this is amazing. You should be really nauseous. Not only that, I had so much energy with all the stuff going into my veins. I just felt great. I said, walked around, pushing the trolley with all these machines and bells and whistles. They said, what are you doing? I said, I'm just trying to get rid of some energy. They said, do you want to ride a bike? Sure, where will you get that? Oh, we've got one. So I rode the bike. And I set the thing to see how many mountains I could go up every day. I was doing 8-10 miles. The doctors came in to check me every day. They eventually said, how do you feel? I said, I feel great. I'm just hungry, And I said, I'm riding the bike. Well, the whole week, 100 hours, I wasn't sick. They said, right, you go home for 2 weeks. And they gave me a special injection to boost my immune system. Said, if you can recover enough, in 2 weeks, you have another 100 hours. I did 3 of these. And I never got sick, ever. And I rode the bike. And by the 3rd one, the professor doctor leading the oncology team said, we're going to do a PET scan. It's a whole body scan. And I was home on one of the 2-week recovery times. And they called me up and they said, well, we had the PET scan. They said, actually, it's completely gone. There's nothing. You don't have anything. Well, I must confess, I thought, what? And so I went back, saw the professor, doctor, and said, what do we do, doc? And she worked on a computer, and she said to me, there's no data. There's just no data. I said, what do you mean no data? She said, nobody has ever reached the stage. And so she said, let's do one more, and then you leave. And that's what we did. Another whole week, and at the end of the week, I still wasn't sick. I felt great. My hair had fallen out, of course. Well, as you see, it's kind of automatic anyway, but hair had fallen out, and that was it. And at the end of the week, a sister, a nurse, what do you call them, came in, and she came to take all these pipes out of me, and she said to me, well, I've worked here for 10 years, and I've never seen a Burkitt's lymphoma patient go home. And all I did was, I kind of pointed my finger to heaven, because, how else can you explain it? The hospital staff said to me, it must be a miracle. We've never seen anything like it. People were coming from all over this cancer hospital to come and see if for themselves. Nobody believed. This old guy of 68 was a survivor. And you know what? I left there. After a year, I phoned them and said, when is my checkup? They said, no, you haven't got a checkup. Is there a problem? I said, no. I said, we don't want to see you. And I've never been back, and I'm standing here today, reasonably healthy for a guy who's 70 plus, and I tell you, all because people prayed for me, and I got changed, healed by the power of God. you are facing that, there is an answer for you like for me. Go and find a Christian or a church or something like that and ask them to pray for you, and they will do it. Look, don't ask me to explain how it works, because truth be told, I really cannot tell you, but I'm standing here as a recipient of that and as a witness that it works, because they prayed for me in Jesus' name. You go and do it. There's hope for you.